Hi guys, welcome to the flight this evening as we are down in Salerno airport. We're going to be doing a two-sector flight from Salerno to Tyvat, then we'll come back to Salerno with all this lovely thunderstorm weather to come back in for the arrival. So, we're with Ryanair, we're going to use Ryanair tonight. This isn't a real world flight. We've got the two-sector coming in straight from Salerno to Tyvat, and Tyvat back to Salerno in for this lovely weather to come back into. So, don't forget to like and subscribe guys, leave your comments down below. We'll get inside the cockpit, start the aircraft up, get ready. We use a bleeds off takeoff as well. We've got Topcat performance, so we've got our performance takeoff, and on that we're going to be using a flaps 25 for takeoff as well. So we've got the bleeds off, flaps 25, and we should be all good to go. So we'll get inside the cockpit and start the aircraft up, ready to go, ready to rock out of a lovely Salerno. Okay, so we're already in. We're in the 737-800. Get the battery on and guarded. Standby power is guarded. We've got the ground power, which is already on and checked. On the emergency exit lights. Get the chimes on. Get the fasten seatbelt signs. Get 1 and number 2 for the nabs on. Test the flaps. Can open up the lights just to light the cockpit up. Flight recorder can go on and checked. Voice recorder, which is on. Get the window heats, which are all on and set. Pats can go to auto, isolation valves are open, and we leave the APU bleed off for now whilst we get the rest of the aircraft configured ready to go. So we're going to come in for Tyvat, we're going to come in for 1-4, so we'll swing around onto that circle to land, use the NDB, then cut off when we arrive down. So once we get to the Tyvat NDB, we'll cut onto the 302, 6.3 DME away. We're then going to make a right hand turn onto the 336, and at 4 DME from the Tyvat localizer, we'll then make that right hand turn to come in for the runway. So the airport's elevation, which is 20, so we can leave that at 0. Over on the charts, if we check, we're going for Tyvat, it's going to be flight level 300. Get that punched in, which is checked. Come down, as you see the weather is absolutely horrible. We'll go in, return off, get into the FMC. Go in, get the IRS position set in for Lima India, Romeo India. Okay, punch that over onto the left GPS. Okay, that's us all set up for Tyvat. We've got Lima Yankee, Tango Victor. Okay, which we'll punch in. On for the departure, we're going to be leaving out for runway 05. And we're going to be taking the Pollet 5 Charlie, which is right here. Okay, from Pollet, we then got the Papa 748. Which is going to take us down to Topno, Tango 527, which is going to take us to Banav, the Papa 748, which takes us to Delta Bravo Kilo, so we'll put that in. Okay, just checked. From the Delta Bravo Kilo, we need to align up for the initial approach fix coming in for Tyvat. So on the initial approach fix, we've got Tyvat, which is the TAS, which is the D1. We're coming from Lasty, which is going to be the TAS 1 Delta. So check this all through, TAS 1 Echo, which will take us to Lasty. And then from Lasty, once we come through, we're going to then use Lasty to come in for the approach. You see Mammal's the initial approach fix, Lasty's right there. So we'll see how this goes. So we're going to use the TAS 1 Echo. As TAS 1 Delta will take us to Sarag. So we can take Sarag as we've got a lever, which is going to be right there. So the TAS 1 Delta coming in for the arrival. Okay, there's TAS 1 Delta. We're coming in for the RMP, which is going to be the Zulu, the NDB Zulu. Okay, and lever is where we're going to transition for. So we can activate that up, which will be set. Go onto our route, get the performance, request that. We've got the Topcat performance as well, which we can use tonight. Hey Jonathan, good evening my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. It has been a long time, hasn't it? I'm doing great, thanks, pal. Hope you're doing well too. So we'll load that all up, get that in. We're going for 300, so I'm going to be going too high tonight. At 300, we've got a cost index of 80. Over on our winds, top of climb 300, 208, 048. Okay, and that's going to give us our minus 45. Okay, plug that in. On for the takeoff performance, we've got here, we're going to be going for a flaps 25, we've got normal takeoff, and then with our flex temp we've got a 35 on that as well, 97.7, which is just about right. We'll go in, get the runway winds, 3204. Okay, runway slope is up 0.8, which is checked. Come back in, going for flaps 25. Got 124, 125 and a 135. Got the centre of gravity. Bug 135 up on our speed. So 135 V2 plus 20 is going to be our 155. Flight directors can both come on. Let's get all the lights and panels on. So we'll do a bleeds off takeoff tonight. That should give us a little bit more performance. Once we get out of these clouds, it should be a lot brighter once we leave out. But when we come back, it should be quite exciting to come out back into Salerno. We'll use max auto brake, I should imagine, when we come in. So we get all our panels on, which are checked and set. So that's everything done. Trim's 404, which is fine. Going to be leaving out on 05. So check the track. And we leave out. 05 is going to be 050. Okay, which is checked. And we've got 300 coming in for our cruise. Okay, that's all set and checked for us as well. So, go overhead now, get the APU started, get one pump in. Okay, which is checked. Your damper can now come on, get the electrics on, which will be checked. APU bleed can come on as well. So that's all set. Go over to the APU gen once that switches. There's the lower oil pressure for the EGT for the APU, which will be fine. And that is us pretty much all set and configured. QNH is leaving out of Salerno. Are going to be 1008. Okay, 1008, which is in. As it's wet, temperature should be around 17, so we've got 18, which is there. Wait for the APU to bounce back and get all our pumps on. Sensor pump's only 500, we'll leave that off. You can hear the rain getting a little bit more hasty as we get ready to leave. Okay, APU's in, switch that over, 1 and 2, the APU gen's on 2. Rain's getting a lot worse now as we stand, so we can now get the tug all turned away and we can get on our way to leave. Weather is absolutely not nice down here today. Ground power can be released, stairs can be released as well. Make sure we've got the brake on. Okay, which is checked. And that is pretty much us ready to go. You see the rain is absolutely horrible here. It's not very nice at all. Traffic terrain. TA can go on, which is also checked. Okay. So, as everything's going to get ready, get the pushback. I don't think we might need pushback. We can probably go straight out, I should imagine. The rain's absolutely appalling there. So we can probably go straight on from stand. We don't need the tug. Should be good for us in a way. So what I'm going to do is we'll get the packs off. And now we are clear. We'll go for engine number 2. Okay, start valves open. N2's increasing. All pressure temps will come to life. 25% when inject fuel. See EGT start to increase. Okay, 25%. Number 2 now coming in. Starter cutout will come back. So we're going to do a bleed off takeoff. So we won't switch over the APU. Okay, there's starter cutout, 56%. Starter cutout, which is back now. Engine number 1 now can come through. Start valve will open again. 25% inject fuel, and we'll see EGT start to increase. A50 above, straight in. Acceleration right. Okay. 27. Engine number 1 now can come through. Down to Delta. We're going to follow it all the way down to the bottom. Hopefully we can turn around. How's it going, my man? Hope you're well, pal. Yeah, I'll try my best to get that flight in, no problem. Okay, so there's engine number 1 now switched over. Everything's fine on that part. Normally auto throttle, which is going to be set and checked. Just checking out the departure. Yeah, no, we'll have a look at the flight, no worries. So, for Pollet, we're coming out straight from Jibble, 1045. 1045, which is checked. Okay, so let's drop down into flaps 25. So that should all come in. Okay, and we are now set to go. So we've got trim of 4.4, which is in. Flaps 25, which is down. I'm not going to switch over the buses. We need to leave the APU bleed on. So for the bleeds takeoff, we've got the right pack, which is going to be auto. Both of them are going to go back to auto. Isolation valve is going to be closed. APU bleeds on. Left engine bleeds. We'll leave the right bleed on until we are ready for takeoff. So that is us now ready to taxi down onto 05, and then hopefully we can spin around and get the aircraft prepared to go. Let's light her up just a little bit. We can turn off the lights. Turn-offs, taxis, engine start switch to continuous, logo, and collision, and we are now ready to go. Just make sure everything's off, which it is. Shop should be on. Actually, the weather is not very nice at all down here in Salerno. Got flaps 25, V1's 124. So we'll enter into the runway, go down to the bottom of 05 and bounce back. Okay, strobe's going to go on. Go down to the end of the runway. Spin around and then jump out. Just before takeoff, we'll turn the right bleed off. Quite a short runway as well. We'll take our time to the end. So I'm going to look to slide off. So just before takeoff, we'll take the right bleed off as well. That'll be the bleed off takeoff. 124 for V1. Rotate 125, 135 for V2 plus 20, so V2 plus 20 would be 155. There's the end of the runway. I'm going to turn around at this bottom part right here. Tight squeeze. Okay, so we are now ready to go. So we'll take off the right engine bleed now, which is ready and checked. Landing lights, which can go all on. We'll set LNAV and VNAV, as we are pretty much going to come out nice and sturdy. And that is us ready for the departure. So let's make sure that we can make it out. Got the auto brake set to RTO, flaps 25, which is in. I'm going to power up the brake on, so we can get quite a lot of power as we come out. Power up to 80%. Let that stabilise. Okay, stable and toga. Full pressure on the column. Airspeed live. Check. Throttle hold. 100 neutral on column.
E1.
Rotate. Right, that's fine. See it breathe. Gear up. Okay. Into flaps 15. Up, no lights. No brake will be turned off. That's will be turned off. I'll flip the autopilot on once we get the bleeds off, because the autopilot won't go in. So once we switch over the buses, everything's going to come on. So AXA on, isolation belt to auto, engine bleeds, new bleed on with the APU. We're all set now. Let's hold on 154. And turn the runway tunnel lights, taxis which are checked. As I make bank onto that right hand turn as we now push forward onto the intercept for the 226. Okay, flaps 5. Okay, just checked. Okay, flaps 1, speed check. So 4007 now. Okay, flaps 1, which is now held, as we're going to hold 185 now until we get to Japan. 11245. So 3.1 now from the airport. Hold in there. After takeoff checklist, gears up, no lights, auto brake is off, packs are auto, bleeds are on. As far as I can see, the weather now is starting to ease back. So the APU must automatically switch over just on takeoff. I'm not sure if that's in the settings to do that, or I'm not sure. Usually you would switch the buses over after takeoff, but it seems to automatically do that once the plane lifts. So just passing 7,400 feet now. Count over to standard. Wedges checked and cross checked on either side. So we're going to go to the 226 now onto this left hand turn brake. As we pass 8,004. Still pretty jumpy as we leave out. Well, we should see some lovely clear skies when we break through this cloud layer. We've got Tyvat coming in, we'll do the circle to land. There we go, there's the speed up. So, flaps 1, which is engaged. Now we're going to speed up to our up speed. That's in 10,000 feet. And the lights can all go off. She's checked, speed check, flaps up. Okay, we just checked. So as we now make our up speed all the way up to our climb. Only with 250 at Sarag, that's fine, we'll slow that down. On for the cruise, we'll go decimal 8 on the cruise, then back down for decimal 78 on the descent. Okay, 250 at Sarag. Check that in, see what Sarag's saying. Let's come in max 250, and then once we come down onto the NDB, it's going to be a max 220. So full Sarag, down to MDB. Sarag 210. That's fine. Now clear out the error. Now the aircraft will climb up, passing through 12,000 feet. As we're going to use Sarag, then we're going to come in for lever, check the flight plan, see if we need to make any corrections. But apart from that, the aircraft now is handling very nice. It's fully set up and configured now, passing through 12,800 feet. Onto that 226 track. Once we leave out, we're basically tracking now. Just turn off the TA. TARA. Then from the track we're going up to Pollet, as we're now passing straight up onto the 226 track for Gipple, and then Gipple is 4,000 above obviously as we are, and then we're going to make that left hand turn which will then track us to Pollet for flight level 90 above, which is in as well. Okay, then we'll make that left hand turn to the 128. Okay, so we're back now, the 128. Okay, which is checked. And that is how you do a bleeds takeoff with the horriblest weather. And that's the first time ever done a flaps at 25 on a departure as well. As we move on out now, temperature +7 and the engine anti-ice on. There's that left turn onto the 128. First time doing Tyvat as well, so that circle to land will be quite interesting to see. Weather shouldn't be as bad as what it is down here. It's past 18,000 feet, so strong climb out. Up to flight level 300. So it was quite a horrible arrival. We're coming back to this airport, so that will be interesting to see once we come back to Salerno on our way back from Tyvat. So we're going to go to Tyvat, do the circle to land, and then we'll use the NDB approach, circle around onto 14, and then we'll load up, come back to Salerno and try out this horrible weather down in for runway 05. It's probably going to be really horrible, so I wouldn't expect a lot in terms of visibility. Could be a go around. Who knows? But I hope you guys are having a great evening as we are now on our way to a lovely Tyvat. Okay, temperature 0, should blast out the clouds very soon. There are thunderstorms in the area of Salerno. Oh, not very nice indeed. I thought we'd do something with thunderstorms and with the thundery weather, put the aircraft through its paces, just had a new update as well to compensate for all the winds and everything. So what better way to actually use the aircraft in this sort of conditions. So we'll track the 043 now, which is going to be our next left turn to track heading, which is checked. That's going to be flight level 220. There's that left-hand turn. It's blasting through. We can see some cloud breaking. Hey Deck, my man. Good evening, pal. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Just done a horrible weather departure, but we're coming back there for the arrival, so that'll be something interesting to do. We're going to do the Tyvat circle to land as well, so that'll be even interesting. So we've got some thunderstorms, we've got some nice approaches tonight, and then we'll make our way back to Salerno where we just left, to then come back in for that 05 approach where visibility and the rain is absolutely horrible. So it's all going to go on tonight. Definitely going to be nice to see. Put the aircraft through its paces. We did a flaps 25 takeoff. We was using the Topa performance as well. So we had a D rate, but we used flaps 25, used the bleeds off takeoff as well. For some reason the APU switches over the buses when the aircraft lifts off. I'm not sure if that's how it's meant to really do that, but I don't know. We'll see. Oh, for real, my man. I hope you make a full recovery, pal. Hopefully it's not too serious. Okay, so I'm going to change the flight altitude to 370. It's got quite a lot of cloud coverage. 370. That was the initial plan which the FMC was giving us on the perf. We've got 300 up on the data for the takeoff charts. But if we can go to 370, then we'll take her up to 37, no problem. It's passing 25,000, still grey and horrible. There are thunderstorms all around Salerno. Never been to Salerno, pretty short runway, so that's why we did a one flaps 25, which Topa was telling us. A little bit wing flex. Apart from that, everything seems to be okay by board. Aircraft seems to be in check. In a few moments' time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just check and see on the plan if it all matches up with the arrival charts that we've got in. I'll show you the arrival charts that we're going to take. It's the NDB approach, but we will circle to land. We need to disconnect off at 6 DME out, and then 4 DME from the Tyvat localizer. We're going to make that right-hand turn in. I hope you make a full recovery, my man. I hope it all goes well. But just keep pushing, keep striving forward, you know, and I hope things get better for you. But hey, good evening, my man. Hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm doing great, thanks, pal. Just in time for a rocky flight. I hope you're doing well, mate. Hopefully we can get out of this cloud coverage. It's getting a little bit rocky now. You see the aircraft just bouncing a little. But I hope everybody's doing well. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to like and subscribe, because we're always doing all different flights here, there and everywhere. And everybody is always welcome to the flights. Probably push through cloud coverage. In just a moment. It's not very nice around here at all. All around Italy it's horrible. Ah, that would be cool, Deck. That would be really cool. You get into one of them simulators. That would be really cool. I would like to go into one of them. Maybe at some point in the future. If I do go to one, I'll definitely record it. And if you do, make sure you put it up so we can all see. Ah, it was a bug. Well, at least it's sorted now, you know. Now that you've got the problem sorted and resolved, at least you know that it's not going to happen anymore, base, you know. Which is a plus, because now you can actually enjoy your flights without having to worry about all the flickering screens, which can be annoying, I know. Hey Dan, my man. Good evening, pal. Hope you're doing well, mate. Just in time for some crap weather. A nice circle to land approach in Tyvat, and then come back to land in the crap. And give it a run for its money. Still haven't pushed through the cloud layer. There's thunderstorms all around in Italy. I'm pushing over near Montenegro. So I don't know, I'm going to check the METARs for Tyvat, because they're not as bad as down here. So down in Tyvat we've got 180 at 13, gusting at 23 knots. Visibility's fine, scattered at 1700, overcast at 2200, and temperature is 20. So we'll see. We'll go over the missed approach procedure as well, as we might need that. 2200 overcast. We'll see exactly how bad. Visibility's fine, so it shouldn't be too bad for us. But if it is, we'll brief the missed approach, and then hopefully we can get ourselves in nice and safe into lovely Tyvat. So passing through flight level 317. So on for the climb out, auto brakes off, gears up and off, no lights, flaps are up, no lights. Engine start switches, turn them off now. It's fine, everything overhead's fine. I'll reach the cabin now, they can get on and do what they've got to do. Switch over to Gen 1 so we can see all the DC and everything. And that is us now for flight level 370. Hopefully we do burst out of the clouds so we can get a little bit of the sun, as it is sunny, but it's just not sunny here. I'd say the performance is alright. I wouldn't say the performance is bad or anything. The sim seems to be running okay. I'm waiting for the update on the 11th, which is their 40th anniversary update, because that's when the A300 from Init Builds comes over. So we used to have that in X-Plane 11, remember? So that'll be something nice to have in this sim, and we'll get to take the big Airbus out, do some DHLs. It should be really nice. Yeah, that's it, Deck. Just fly one-handed, mate. Just give it all you've got. Let's switch the VOR off now for Salerno. Got Mach decimal 8 over on our cruise, and then we've got our decimal 78 coming down on the descent, passing flight level 330 now. Still haven't broke out these clouds, they're very high. It's inbound now to top mode. Ground speed 502. I hope everybody's having a great evening. Not bad way to do it on a Friday night. Then to have a circle to land approach, and then come back into all of that horrible weather and see what we can do. Because it's not going to be nice, it's going to be absolutely atrocious. And I don't think it's going to be an ILS either. Let's have a look and see with Salerno what sort of approach they've got. We'll just check that out quick. So we're going to Leary, and let's just have a little quick look at what approaches they've got. So it's a VOR approach. Okay, it's going to be a continuous descent flight angle from 7 DME. So basically we'll run LNAV and pretty much vertical speed or V speed straight down. So CDFA, continuous descent flight angle, 3 degree. So we don't want to be coming in too heavy on this one. We're coming in for 60 tons. Yeah, I think it will be an auto land for you, mate. It'll be nice and easy. I did try the auto land actually out on the Phoenix today, and for some reason when it comes to the flare, it started to bank to the right, which was a little bit odd. So I did give it a go. That was the first time actually I've given the auto land a go in the Phoenix, and it started to bank to the right just as it went over the threshold, which was a bit odd. So I don't know if I'll trust it unless it's going to have an update or something. So yeah, the VOR approach is the only one there, the VOR for 05. So CTFA will come down a continuous descent flight angle, and we'll follow it down. If it was the Airbus, you'd run in track and then run it down on 3 degree. There we go, there's a lovely, lovely sky just poking through to 1,300 feet to go for 370. That is how horrible the weather is down below in Italy as we fly in. So it will be a VOR approach coming back in straight from Gipor initial approach fix. Roll it down 11 DME, 2200, 046 inbound, 7 DME, we'll start that descent. So we'll activate the vertical speed at about 7.3, 7.4 DME, so 0.4 away, so then the aircraft can get into that descent phase. And then we've got our DME to altitude references as well, which we can cross-check on the way down. So we'll see how that fares. That's going to be fun. There we go, 37,000 feet and literally just tipping on the clouds. Literally just tipping the top of the clouds. So if we stay for 300, we wouldn't have even seen the top. We would have literally just still been in complete grey darkness. But the weather down in Salerno, that is really, really bad. I haven't seen weather like that in Microsoft in quite a while. But it was stable, but it was just visibility was very poor. Very, very poor. So down in Tyvat we've got overcast at 2,200 feet. Hopefully it shouldn't cause any problems when we come in for the circle to land. And then we'll refuel, load her back up. We're going to be leaving out for 60 tons on the dot. And then we'll jet back out to Salerno and face that horrible, horrible weather. I'm not sure how the VR approach is going to fare. I'm not sure what the minimums is. Let's see what the minimums is for Salerno, because visibility is literally down to the ground. It's not even anything fun. So it might actually could be a divert, you never know. So minimums 650, 569. Okay. 81, which is on the airport's elevation. So our minimums, we need to put, we'll put an extra 50 on that as well, so that'll be 7, so that will give us our 619. Just on the top of the clouds, how lovely. How lovely is that? Just there on the top of the clouds. So it's all going to be going on tonight. Not too sure about Salerno with the visibility, etc. We'll see what the visibility's saying. Let's go back and check down on Salerno's METARs. Let's see what the visibility's saying there. So we're going to make that left-hand turn now, which is going to take us on to 012 track. Okay, which is checked. So Salerno now. Overcast at a height of 1,000, visibility's 5,000 meters, overcast at 1,000, Columbus, thunderstorm and rain. Winds 320 at 4, so the winds are fine, thunderstorms and rain, eh? So I'm not sure how that's going to fare. We'll have a look and see what our alternative airport is as well if we can't get down, but it should be alright. Hopefully it changes. Still got about another hour before we get back down into Salerno. So it'll be something to look forward to. I'm looking forward to the Tyvat approach. We could have come down into 3-2, but I wanted to do 1-4, so we'll come down onto that arrival. So basically now we've got a bit of time before we do go over to Tyvat. There's our top of descent lurking right there, just about 90 miles or so away. Let's go into plan, let's have a look and see what we've got down our plan today. So we'll turn it down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to come to Banev. Can get the charts up as well. Okay, so we've got the NDB Zulu, which we're going to come in for. Okay, so let me step it through. We're going to go to Tozi, we've got the Taz, so we're going to be doing the Tyvat 1 Delta, which takes us to Sarag. So we're going to come to Sarag, let's have a look and see what's going on here, shall we? Right. So sort the FMC out. Okay, so we've got Sarag. Then we go to Aluvo. then Gozu, then the Tango 301, which is there. Okay. So what we need to do is, where it's got a Lubu, it's going to run it back down into the runway. So all I need to do is take it back. Tango 301. Then you've got the TAS NDB. Then from the TAS NDB, that's where we are going to break off. Okay, so I'm going to leave it up to the TAS NDB, which is going to be there, the Tango Victor 301. And we've got the TAS. So from TAS, just need to sort this all out. There's the NDB for Gozu. So that's the whole approach, the whole arrival there. And a Lubu, which is going to be there. So let's get a Lubu. Bring that down. That should sort that all out. Okay. So that is basically where we're going to go. Once we get to the TAS NDB, we're going to turn around, come in from Sarag. Sarag's going to take us to a Lubu. A Lubu is going to take us to Gozu. We're going to go to the NDB. And then from the NDB, we're basically then going to break off to the left on the 302, 6.3 nautical miles from the TAS NDB. We then make a right hand turn. That right hand turn, then 4 nautical miles from the Tyvat localizer. We then make a right hand turn, 3 DME, we turn it, and then we should be lined up with the runway. So where the aircraft's doing all its funkiness there, the end of the line is going to be, once we leave a Lubu, it could be that Lubu track. So just punch that there, that might get rid of that, might do. But either way, down to a Lubu to Gozu, end of that. We're going to break off anyway from the TAS NDB, so whatever it's got planned for us, we're going to we'll run it out in heading mode, and that should be good for us then. The aircraft's just doing some funkiness, I suppose. So we'll get the TAS NDB in as well. That's going to be near. Now we need that localizer as well. Okay. So we've got the TAS NDB. The Tyvat is 345. Localizer, which is the 111.3. Okay, which can come in when we get nearer. Need to get the winds in as well. Gonna break off to the right, which is then going to lead us onto the track. So we want to come straight down to a Lubu, because we don't want that Lubu 1 there. We need to get rid of that. Don't want that there. There's the Lubu 1. Goes it. It's got TAS back. Okay, so that's why it's TASing into the runway. So I don't know why it's got that circular bit for the intercept. We just basically want it for the Lubu, and then straight to Gozu. Oops. I'm just going to leave it, I'm not even going to mess about with it. We'll put Gozu there, that'll do it there, and that'll bring us around, and there we are, Lubu to Gozu, TAS NDB, then we break off. So whatever the FMC is doing there, not really going to mess about with it too much, as we're going to break off anyway. We're not going to use the autopilot all the way through. And that'll be the descent path for us, so it should be a nice arrival. As long as things don't go tits up, then it should be okay. So traffic's all in. The NTB, which is also in as well, that will come through once we do get near. and basically just monitor the systems until it's time to disconnect and then fly them manually. So we'll have full control of the throttles and full control of the control systems. So just flying on the tips of the clouds. We'll get the weather forecast in as well. Okay, and then once we get 4 nautical miles from Tyvat localizer, can then start that right hand turn to then come through. So it's a very unique little approach, definitely something new. There's our top of descent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the weather forecast in quickly, get the METARs quickly for Tyvat. Don't do that. Okay, so the METARs coming down 1008. See where the top descent lies. It's going to be a quick one. So 1008, lock that in, see where the top of descent lies. It's probably going to come through. It does. Drop it down to 10,000 feet. Okay, so we're going to knock it down. We're in our path now. 10,000, which is in. Top of descent, aircraft's going to come around to get our winds and everything. In our path. And top of descent, just show. Going top of descent. Put 5 in as well. 300. 217. 58. And 180 at 13. That's all in. Aircraft's now going to start its descent down as we leave flight level 370. Check the charts now just to make sure of where we're looking to come in and what our minimum descent is going to be. So for 2006, once we leave the NDB, okay, 2006, which is in. And I'm going to switch the localizer in as well. 1113. Localizer might go in. So there's TAS, which is in. And the localizer frequency for runway 14. Because we need to break off from 32. And so as we come through onto the. So we're going to need that on the course 113, 111.3. And there's 111.3. Now pop in, course is coming in for Tyvat, down onto 14. We're coming down on 302 for the time being. I'm not going to use it anyway. I'm just going to use the Vocalizer for reference. Okay, 302. On the descent, decimal 76. Okay, which is checked. Heads down to descent to find all 335. Passenger signs can now go on. Engine start switch is continuous. Tell the cabin to get ready for arrival. Okay, as we make that right hand turn now. That's going to take us on to 046 to 120. Okay, 120, which is in checked. Passing through flight level 310, 1008. Okay, which is set and cross checked. Now we come in. Set an auto brake number 3, we'll get our weights as well. So 57 to 6, which is 0.3, 57.4. Okay, and with the winds all gusting, etc. So got 180 at 13, gusting 23, so I'm going to just add a 10 onto that. And then we'll take a flaps 30, 139. 149, which is in. I'll do 29,000. Lovely views as we now hit that right hand bend. So we'll see what the visibility is like as we come down. Hey Nikolai, good evening my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. Yeah, that's great, pal. It's a nice little flight. It's not a bad one. Okay, so we're going to just arm the speed brake. Should arm. Yeah, for some reason the speed brake don't like to arm itself, but I'm sure it will when we get nearer. It'll open up automatically anyway when we do come down. Passing through 26,000. Aircraft's on one hell of a descent path. Okay, so there's the runway. Just going to come around, take a right hand turn and then cut back down onto the TAS NDB, which we're flying straight over right now, which we can see, which is right there. Aircraft's descending at such a rapid rate. That's an arm with idle. Now passengers will be in for a run for their money. 250, which we're now slowing down to. We've put the hold in for Gozet. Now the aircraft to come down. I don't know what happened with the VNAV path or vertical profile. So VNAV's out, so we're using vertical speed now to come down. Aircraft slowly slowing down, and 207 is the target speed, so we're slowly coming in now. And we'll slow down to about 1,000 feet per minute. Keep the speed brakes open. And come down to our up speed. And 207. So the aircraft should go into right-hand turns. It's got Goza to come in. There's a Goza hold. .207, and then we need to be down for 4,000 feet. So we'll keep 4,000 feet in, and then for TAS 2006. So we'll let the aircraft run the hold now till it comes around. Got some lovely views, just as we start to see Tyvat come into view. Top 1003. Aircraft will bank right in just a few minutes' time. Speed brakes are in as well. So we'll hold this hold until we can burn off some altitude, and then we'll proceed forward onto the approach to the Tyvat NDV, which we've got the DME as well for reference, and then we can carry on the approach from there and get that in. So if things go a bit wrong, just put the hold in, and then you can sort of gather yourself. So for some reason the VNAV profile wasn't following its profile, probably because we put the forecast in a bit too late before the descent. We already determined the descent was going to be different way before putting in the speeds for the wind, and because we'd already gone past that point, the aircraft had then carried on going and then started to go onto a rapid decel. So sorted it all out now. The aircraft will follow it around, we'll do run, bring around, then we should be down and okay. I was at 10,008. As you can see, with the wind still pushing forward. Now +5, I'm going to take the anti-ice soft. That'll give us 3% N1 less, which might help the aircraft just a little bit. And speed brakes out, brakes back down, so flaps up. QNH is now 1008, we're charting. I'm going to hold for 4,000. Speed brakes are in. max 220 on our speed when we come back round as well. Yeah, so we've got the charts out, look at them. So max 240 on that turn. Once we come down, we're coming in for a gossip, put the hold in on the right hand turns, max 240, 207 in on the speed. That should be alright for us. We'll see some other views now of the island coming into view. Speed brakes out one more time and get the aircraft configured. Once you get to 4,000 feet, we'll start opening up the flaps. Corsair, exit the hold, which is armed. Oh, weather seems to be alright. It's 5,000 meters visibility. That's 4,000 for Corsair. Then we'll stay our flaps up. Then we need to descend down, open up the flaps, get the aircraft all ready and prepared for the arrival for that circle to land. Okay, so 4,000 for Corsair, 2,006 for the TAS NDB. The aircraft's going to go into a continuous descent. We'll hold 4,000 until we get to Corsair, then we'll descend down to 2,006. And from passing there, there's a continuous descent down on a 3 degree. We're coming in on the approach, probably could get flaps 40, but leave flaps 30. So we're 139 plus 10, so we're 149 coming in, and that on our speeds. That's going to give us 140, 149, so probably about 850 feet per minute on the descent, straight down. There's 1,000 to go. Turning around now for Corsair. Yeah, probably coming now a little bit faster. Probably go for 230 now. I don't know what's going on with the auto throttle and that. I'm just going a little bit ski with, going a little bit excited. Because that's in sight, ready for the decel. Decel from Gosset to Taz is 149, so when we get just about near, we get a few nautical miles away, we'll start to then power the aircraft down and decel it, ready for our approach. So you can see with the auto throttle, it's going a little bit ski with. I suppose there's a bit of a tailwind as well. The hold is left, so we will go direct now to Tyvat's NDB, which is right here. Got the DME for Tyvat as well. There's the NDB for the blue marker. Going on to the 334. Okay. I'm going to go down to our up speed. Just then checked. See if we can get the speed brakes to arm itself again. Okay, so they don't want to arm. They'll come out automatically once we come down. So I'm going to drop down. As we are 3 nautical miles away from Gozat, we'll drop down into flaps 5. Okay. Top speed. Flaps 10 can come out under 210. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Let's see what's the 302. Or the airport in its sights. Okay. As we can see.
1,000.
I'll run it very, very narrow. I'm going to altitude hold. Keep it there. Until we come out over the tops here. Then we're going to come out and then take that right to 336. So let's see what happens, eh? As this weather is absolutely diabolical. sold at 1700. Down to our minimums. That was looking crazy. Looking nice. Just about to see the airport just over there, which will come into view once we spin around. Hit the 336 just yet, it's a little bit off as it is. Airport's right around there. We need to go in for that localizer as well. Make the turn. Just give it past now. Localizer's gone. 189. Should be fun. Can't see absolutely anything right now.
Caution, terrain.
Yeah, we know.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
It's one of them ones you don't want to miss.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
If the weather's too much, then we just won't do the approach.
Terrain, pull up.
It's going to be a missed approach anyway, I should imagine.
Terrain, terrain, pull up.
Nothing about
Terrain, terrain, pull up.
40, which is in. If we see anything, then we'll do it. If not, there we go. Okay, so my controls.
Terrain, terrain.
Okay, runway is visual.
Terrain, terrain.
Let's see what we can do. Yep, terrain, terrain, pull up. Gonna bring her in tonight. We're gonna mess about.
Terrain, terrain, pull up.
Flaps 3, which is in.
Terrain, terrain,
See what we
pull
can do.
up.
It's gonna be a high one. Very high.
Sync rate.
Yep, sync
Sync
rate,
rate.
we know.
Pull
Yeah,
up.
not today.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Sync rate.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oof. There we go, speed brakes are up. And reversers are active. Oh, what madness. Hey, decel. 80 knots. Reversers are stowed. Only braking at 60. And that was something that I don't want to do again in an overcast environment. Wouldn't have been the right conditions to do it, but hey, we gave it a shot. And we got it down, which was the main thing. Just about, what, crazy, crazy, crazy arrival. Absolutely crazy. That was a very close one, mate. We didn't even have no glide slope. It was literally just following the localizer just for the DME reference. But because the overcast was right there, it was just one of them ones where it was either not going to happen or it was. And to be honest, tonight I didn't even have time for a go around. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, my man. It's nice to see you too. Let's turn around and get off of this runway. Suit and boot back up so we can blast out of Tyvat. What a nasty approach that was. Speed brakes can go back in. Flaps can be going back. Hey MC, good evening my man, hope you're well as well my man. Nice to see you pal. But yeah BK, what a crazy approach. If it was clear that would have been a really nice arrival, but because that overcast was there, it was literally just running it blind. And I wouldn't have even proceeded with it, but it was one of them ones where it was like committed, so it was like, you know what, I'm getting this down on the ground, and come kingdom come, it's coming down tonight. But we got it down. Luckily the overcast just left in time for us to see. If not, then yeah, we would have been in trouble, 100%. Oh, welcome to Tyvat guys. Welcome to Tyvat. And with the VOR approach, I don't think that's even going to happen with the visibility that's down in our departure airport, which I'll have a look and check the METARs for. So Salerno is thunderstorm and the rain still. Visibility is 5,000 meters. Overcast 1,000 feet. So it might come out, it might not. I don't really know if it will or it won't. Oh yeah, we got there in the end. Just about. Bet the passengers are like, I'm never flying with Ryanair ever again in my life. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly reload this aircraft round with the APU running. So I'm going to get the APU on now, power that up. Okay, which is set. I'm going to get ready to turn off here. Let's just slow it down. Landing lights which can all go off. Engine start switches to normal. I'm going to turn the strobe off as we're going to turn off now. I'm going to quickly reload and then we can fly back in to Salerno for that VOR approach. It should run a lot more smoother than Tyvat. When Tyvat's got some nice weather, we'll come back here and we'll give her a crack, give her a run for her money. So I'm just going to park her in. I'm going to spin her around right here. APU should be on by then. Oh, you can see that he's there. We're going to go right the way around. What's he doing? Let's have a look, see what he's doing. I'm going to spin the aircraft right around onto a right-handed. Oh, if that was real world time, I would have never have even committed to it. Would have been a guy around straight away. Probably could have even been a divert if that was in real world. Definitely. Would have never ever committed that. I wouldn't have even put myself in that position. If we had passengers, I wouldn't have even put them in that position. You know, what a crazy, crazy arrival with that overcast. So at least we've got the man there. You know it's the right-handers, but we're going all the way around, mate. Not stopping today for you. We're going all the way around so we can bend it back to then get back out onto that runway. So I want to get out ASAP. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the arrival. What a crazy arrival. Okay, so I'm going to park her right here. Get the brakes on, which are checked. I'm going to go straight over, switch over to the APU gen, which is checked. Get the engines off, 1 and 2. Go down to the APU gen. Probes are off. There wasn't even one to start with. Okay, so let's get the aircraft all set and ready to go. I'm going to deboard. We've got 60 tons on our departure, so let's load her up for 60 tons. Yeah, what a crazy, crazy arrival that was, even at a hold. What madness. Okay, 59, so put 112 in, we need 60 tons with the toga, which is 13. And move that back through. Yeah, we got it done in the end, mate. Definitely did get it done in the end. What a relief, eh? What a relief. Definitely won't be committing myself to an approach like that in overcast. definitely not. So the aircraft is sitting here now. I'm just going to punch in the origin, which is Tyvat, coming in for Lyri for Salerno, which is fine. Create that up. Yeah, I know the ramp staff better watch out. We aren't ramping today. Definitely not ramping. We are literally on a mission to get in and to get out. Yeah, would have sideswiped them. Okay, so for the arrival and departure, we've got 4 Tyvat coming out, which we want to get set up fairly quickly. So Tyvat coming out on 3-2. Realistically, we would have come in for 3-2. It wouldn't have been 1-4. I just wanted to do a 3-2 for that purpose. So on for the SID, we've got TAS. So there is no SID that we're going to use coming out. It's going to be a directed TAS. And the R45, okay, so coming in on the approach, so we don't need that, the approach, and the star is going to be a BANAV, so there is no approach for that as well. So let's have a look and see what approaches they've got. This is going to be for runway 05, so we're going to come in for DIRED, that could be the DIRED 1 Bravo. Okay, so let's get the aircraft all set up and ready to go. So Lima, Yankee, Tango, Victor, Lima, India, Romeo, India. Okay, departure. Oops, let's take that off. Don't want that departure. Okay, runway 32. It's going to be set. We'll come out and do a left-hand turn off the runway. On for the legs. We're going to go direct to TAS, which is Tyvat's. I've got the NDB in for that anyway, so we're going to ride it back. Then we've got the Romeo 45. Okay, which isn't there. Direct to Lasty. Lasty's going to then take us from Whiskey 36. Okay, which will take us to Cray. Okay, and from Cray we are then going to rise it in, so let's have a look at that arrival, which I don't think I saved. But we can have a look at it anyway. It should load itself up. We'll get the flight recorder system in as well for this last bit of the flight. It should be really nice. What a madness of a arrival. We definitely won't be doing that again. So the start, we are going to take the DIRED, as we're going to come in for runway 05, which is directly right in front of us. So we've got the DIRED 1 Bravo, we can bang that off, and the approach is going to be for the VOR Gipple. So got the DIRED 1 Bravo, runway 05, and there it is. There's nothing there to go by. Okay, should have Girid there, there's Gipple, Girid great, and all the way down to Gipple, and then runway 05. There we go. So we're going to come down vertical speeds, continuous descent flight angle coming down. So that should be all good for us. Right, so isolation belt can be open, turn off the packs, get the APU bleed on, turn off the bleeds, everything else is all on. We just need to refuel the aircraft, and then that is us ready to go, and we can then get on our way. So fueling, we'll be coming out for a fuel of 6.1, so we'll take 7.1 just to be on the safe side. 62, go back to the payload, put in 100. Okay, put in 90. Okay, 60.1, which is fine. That's good for us. Go into the perf, request that. We've got the Topa performance as well for that. So that should be alright. If you do enjoy these wacky rides, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. As we're always looking for some crazy approaches, but we won't be doing that again in the overcast, definitely not. So we'll upload that, upload a link. Okay, we've got flight level 400 on for our level 20, so 40, we can go back up for 350 this time. Okay, cost index is going to be 62. Get the winds, top of climb, 220, 49. Which is checked. For the Topa performance, we have got a D rate and we've got 49. Which is going to give us 94.3, 94, that's fine. On for takeoff. Runway winds 16011. Okay, runway slow, which is up 0.1. Okay, back, got flaps at 25 again. 127, 127 and a 134. Cost index 45, so 147 and a 134 for V2. Okay, which is checked. Flight directors and everything, which is all on. Turn off the auto brake, that gets checked. That's all good for us. We're going to leave everything as it is. Power on up now. We are going for 350. Going to rocket out the runway. Okay, 350, which is checked. Everything else underway. Auto brake can be RTO, which is checked, and set. APU, which is on. I'll just switch over the buses. So what I'm going to do is packs are off now. I'm going to now power on up for engine number 2. Tops are down. Okay, N2 is increasing now. All pressure temps come to life. 25% will inject fuel and see EGT start to increase. So if you thought Tyvat was bad, then wait until you come back down to Salerno, because if you rewind back to the start of the flight, you'll see exactly how bad this. You'll see how bad that airport is with the thunderstorm. It's absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Leave the terrain on. All of the men are over here, so that's fine for us today. Grounds are in, EGT is increasing, 56%, start to cut out, come back, then we'll go back in for engine number 1. No bleeds off or anything, so it should be all good and fine. Okay, there's the starter cut out, so we go over here, they get engine number 1 in, EGT will start to stabilise for engine number 2. There's no SID coming out, so I'm not going to bother about bringing anything up. Got the NDB in for Tyvat. I've also got a DME there as well for reference. Okay, 25% now, engine number 1 now can come in. Any collision lights, logo and everything's all on. 350. Yeah, which is checked. TGT is now starting to increase. Go back, check the elevation down for Salerno. Okay, elevation is 81. I'll leave that at 100. That's fine. Everything's all on and checked. TGT is fine. 56%. Start to cut out. Click back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is checked. Okay, switch over the buses. 1 and 2. Go to Gen 1, which will be checked. That's going to go to auto. Isolation valve auto. Engine bleeds. APU bleed can go off with the APU. Engine start switch can go to continuous. Sting the cabin. Let them know that we are ready to leave. Auto throttle can be armed. Altitude hold. We're going to be coming out of that. We'll bug all of that off anyway, so I'll sort that out once we take off. We'll get it all off. Take the flight directors off and back on. That will clear it all. Okay, there we go. And now I'll run out on heading. I'll head in track, leaving out 3-2. Is going to be 131. Which I think will be 131. Whatever it is, when we get onto the runway heading, we'll line it all up and get it all ready to go. So we are now ready to leave. Our taxi lights can go on. We'll get our trim, which is going to be 451. Okay, which is checked. I'm going to control column over, flaps 25. You see what I mean, BK? It looks absolutely horrible there. 10 times worse than what it was here for Tyvat. Brakes released, taxi lights are all on, engine start switch are continuous, and away we go now for the second leg back to Salerno. So if you want to see exactly how bad the weather is down there, rewind back to the start of this flight and you'll see exactly how bad the weather was. It was atrocious coming out. We've done a bleeds off takeoff as well. Going to turn the strobes on now as we're going to enter the active runway. Then we're going to back taxi down to the end, spin around and then blast out. We'll make that left hand turn coming out of the airport. And then we'll change the fly live as well once we line up onto the runway. Get that all set up. Yeah, definitely rough. 10 million times rougher than what Tyvat was. It was only the overcast that was really stopping us from seeing the airport. With this, you're going to see it right at last minute. Overcast is 1,000 feet. We've got 600 feet, which is going to be minimums, I think. So about 500 on the decision height. So that airport is going to come into view probably just at the last minute, I'd say. So let me just line this aircraft up. Let's get the fly live at reset. Reset us back. Okay. Reset us. And there we are. So let's power on down to the end and get the hell out of Tyvat. Max 50 knots on the runway. Going to be a tremendous climb out. See the overcast now building back up as the real-time weather now starts to come back in. So it weren't the prettiest of sights, literally. I know I asked for a thunderstorm, but Jesus Christ, that's like going to meet Satan. You know what I mean? Oh, what an absolute madness. Spin around. Then we'll get on our way pretty back to Salerno. Okay, you can see the rain coming in now. Let's get this aircraft turned around, shall we? You see how the weather has literally just changed in the space of a few minutes. Let's line this lovely simple 737-800 up. Okay, so 131 for V2 plus 20, which would be 151. Landing lights can now come on, which are checked. We leave now on the runway heading, which is about 312. Or 315. 317, which will be checked, and select which can go in. So we are now ready to go. So push forward on the column, up to 50%. Stabilised. And so go. Airspeed live.
80 knots.
Check. Throttle hold. 100 neutral.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Wait for 400 feet. Then we'll climb up. There's a V2 plus 20. Okay, 400 feet, which is in. LNF and VNF can now be engaged. We'll now make that right hand turn. Flaps 15. It's pushing us down as we lose the drag with the aircraft for the flap retraction. A bit of trimming as well. I don't know why FM speed came in, but still, we'll leave it there. Go to speed intervention, speed that up, bug up. There you go, 205. Hanging it in, get the autopilot in as well, which is checked. Was brake me turned off, keep me turned off. Landing lights can be turned off and checked, when we turn off lights. Engine start switches will leave continuous. Ding the cabin, let them know that we are all good to go. Now the aircraft should follow through. So speed check down to flaps 5. As we say goodbye now to lovely Tyvat. Okay, FMC speed at 256, so it should go back into manage mode. Oh, it's doing FMC speed, there we go. So flaps 1. On through 4,400 feet. That will not winds, it was over from the left, at 187. Okay, speed check, flaps up. Okay, so there we are now inbound to the Tyvat NTB, where we are then going to rise up. So the aircraft's going to continue its descent out, passing through 6003. Terrain's all on. TERA, which can be set as well, which is checked, and away we go now up into the clouds. Okay, so into the clouds we go, pass through 18,000 feet, we'll switch over the QNHs, which are 1013. A little bit of sun, you can see some of the cloud coverage burning up. Now as we ride on, hitting the 219 track. Okay, we just checked. Okay, we'll take the NTP off, everything's all checked. the flight. Definitely won't be doing Tyvat again for quite a while, unless the weather conditions are normal. That wasn't in for Japan. Descend just over 100 nautical miles now. And check down on take 1.2 off of 58.5, which goes 57.3. Yeah, it definitely was rough, mate. 100% I agree with you on that one, I can't disagree. It was absolutely atrocious, that was. If the overcast weren't there, it would have been a really nice arrival, but we had no referencing for the ground or anything. So it was literally just flying blind, and that's why we spun it round when we did, so we could get it in. So currently doing Mach decimal 81. We're on the cruise, pretty for decimal 80. I don't know why the aircraft's still blowing out. Probably for 81, we'll get there a little bit quicker on time. LNAV, you need to be in head and select and then move on to the localizer. So we'll switch into heading mode and then we'll switch the localizer mode on. We check down onto the runway, we've got our references as well, which we'll monitor as well very closely if we need to make any adjustments on the V-speed. So all nice and shifty, should be down. Hopefully, timing here sending us 11:17, 10:59. So we will be down in about 15 minutes time. We should be down on the ground. Hopefully about 15-20 minutes. What a rocky approach today. Definitely was one of the maddest ones that I've done so far. Definitely won't be doing that again in a lot. Not with Overcast. This was on Nihilus approach down. Wasn't very nice at all. Definitely didn't enjoy that one, but I'm glad that the runway did come into sight just at the last minute, so it wasn't too bad. So we haven't got too long to go now. We've got about 10 minutes before we start our descent. Then we'll make it back in. Hurry up, as they've only got about 15 minutes time to get up and down the cabin and get everything put back in before we blast down into runway 05. Again, I'm going to show you how to do the VOR approach, how you can track the VOR with the localizer button. As I've seen it done in real life on a 737. You just have to be in head and select mode to activate it with the course and the VOR station already punched in. So stay tuned for that as well if you want to see how that's done. I'll open up the Navigraph so we've got our references, we can monitor that closely down as we come down on the descent. It should be a little bit more stable than what it was down in Tyvat. But either way, it was a great flight. It was a great flight, at least it ended okay, it ended well. Didn't end too crazy than what I thought it would. So we come down to 2,200 feet, 7 DME, we start that descent about 7.3 away from the top. Let me just have a look and see how it sounds. Don't know what's going on there. Let me check into OBS and see what OBS is saying. So we'll see what's going on. Check into OBS and see what OBS is saying. So we'll see what's going on. Check into OBS and see. Yeah, it's quite staticky. I see what you mean. I don't know why it's doing that for. It seems okay on my front. The mic seems to be alright. So hopefully it resolves itself. Hopefully you can hear me alright though. Hopefully. 80 nautical miles to go now. Come in for an auto brake max. Get the aircraft stopped to a standstill very quick. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting that static sort of sound, to be honest with you. Engine anti-ice switch is on as well. So we're literally just about 2,000 feet above the clouds level at the top layer. Okay, 91 nautical miles to go now until our top of descent. Hopefully it resolves itself in the next flight. I don't know why it's doing that. I did put a couple filters on, I did put the gain and the noise suppression on, so I don't know if it's been like that the whole flight or if it's just been like that just recently. Hopefully it could be that the mic's going. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Hopefully it does resolve itself. Which is just above the clouds layers now. And thanks for everybody who's joined in this evening and joined us for our wacky flight to Tyvat. This one's going to be just as bad, but it's going to be a little bit more controlled, as we have, at least we've got some sort of control on the aircraft, and we'll be following in the tracks, so that'll be a lot more better for us. Just under 80 nautical miles to go now, 11:17, 11:05, so in around 12 minutes time we're going to start the descent down into Salerno, or whatever it's called, Salerno Costo di Amalfi Airport, Lima India, Romeo India. So I asked for thunderstorms and we actually got thunderstorms tonight, so I can't complain. We got the best of the best that came down tonight. And that's literally how it was. Hopefully from the top of descent point. So once we get to Diriyah, 30, 40, 50, 54 nautical miles. 369. The aircraft's going to need to descend just before that, as we can see. So in the Airbus we put the program and see how far away we are from them. So from Romeo 4, we're 139. If we're going to start the descent down from 35, 70, 105 plus an extra 10-foot wind, so 115 nautical miles we need to start the descent down. Looks very, very close to where we are right now. Distance to go is 30 nautical miles. Yeah, it definitely came true tonight. 1,000,000% it came true tonight. Cannot agree more. Cannot agree more. That was literally something else. Literally, that was crazy tonight. Did enjoy it though, but I didn't enjoy the part where we went blind. So for the Diriyah arrival, coming in from Diriyah, which is 40 nautical miles, on for the Diriyah 1 Bravo, we hit the Romeo India 404, make a right hand turn onto 046, all the way down to Jaipur, 4,000 feet, where we then descend down from 4,000 feet to 2002 at 11 DME. Around 7.3 DME, we'll interlock with the VOR through end select and then hit the localizer. That'll lock in for the VOR station, which is sort of midway into the airport. And then from the Bravo, the Papa Tango Charlie VOR, got the DME to altitude reference, which will follow closely coming down so we can monitor it. Got a 3-degree glide path and follow our speeds down with the descent profile. Got the missed approach point, which is at 1.5 DME from the runway, or the VOR should we say. So probably should have the airport in sight. Missed approach point will be at 1.5, so if we don't have the airport in sight by 1.5, or even by minimums, we could go back up, but we're not going up tonight. We're going to literally get the aircraft down, and that is going to be it for our Friday night flight. But yeah, definitely be careful what you wish for, as it could actually come true. That is very, very true indeed. 100,000,000%. I couldn't agree more. So another thing I noticed was with the flight recorder replay system, version 5 that's come out, you basically got to buy it again, which I'm definitely not going to do, because I bought version 4, then it went up to version 4.5, which was included, which I bought off of Sim Market, so they included the update. But now it's like, now they've bought a version 5 out, it's like they want €24 for the version 5, and I don't think I really want to do that. I think I spent like €18 for the first one, and now they want another one, so that's going to be like nearly 40 odd euros just for another flight replay system, which I thought was going to be included seeing as you bought the first one, but because I suppose it's a version 5, they're now basically trying to charge another €24, which personally I don't really think I'm going to bother with. I probably will at some point, but not right now. I thought that would have been included with the update, but clearly it wasn't. Just another way to make some more money, I suppose. That's the way I could see it. So we're near to our top of descent. I'm going to get the VOR frequencies in, get the aircraft all loaded in, ready to go. We're going to be on the ground probably within about another 10 minutes time. So the VOR frequency is 110.45. 110.45, 110.45, which are all in and checked. Coming in on the 046 course. Which is checked. Everything else is pretty much all set. We've got the forecast in, that's all set and checked. So all we're waiting for now is our top of descent to come in onto the runway. Still at flight level 350. Auto brake max, which is in. Again, if we can't get the speed brakes to arm, they'll automatically disarm once we hit the ground. Yeah, that's what they're doing. I thought the version 5 for the replay system would have been another added update for the flight recorder system, which I was looking forward to, but when you go onto your downloads, it's just got version 4.5, so version 5 is a totally new system for the flight recorder. The first one was €18, now the second one's €24, so you're looking like what, like €42 or something. I'm not really looking to spend another 24, not now anyway, so I think for the time being it probably will just be this one. I'll see how I feel maybe in a couple of weeks time, see what the reviews are on it, because I see Q8 Pilot done it, and then obviously Sim Market commented and said, oh, it'll be up later on, and then when it was, it's for €24 now. And anyone that's on the number 4 version, you're basically not going to, you're not going to get onto it. So it's one of them ones really. 06 and 52. I'm going to change that one. Yeah, that's alright. Right, that's fine. So top of descent point now is within reach. Currently 20 nautical miles an hour, and then we start to come down. I'll show you how to do the VOR approach with the VOR lock, which would used to be there. There we go, the VOR lock, so it's going to start getting a little bit choppy maybe. But enjoy the descent, guys, as we come in. Once we hit that right hand turn from Dired, I'll try the flight recorder system, hopefully it doesn't freeze, and we can then see the arrival down, and it'll be a smoother one this time than last time. I think it was 317 feet per minute, so I'll make sure that it's a much more enjoyable landing this evening on this second flight. Thanks everybody that's joined in this evening for our Friday night flight. It's definitely been worthwhile, definitely something to enjoy and keep you on your toes. And just make sure that you're strapped in and don't ever take your seatbelts off. Stop at descent 2002, which is in, so the aircraft will go into its descent mode. So let's get ready to rumble. And just over 10 nautical miles now, and we come down into sort of big road. It's got an approach mode as well, that's good. Okay, so there's our top of descent. Throttles will go to idle now. As we can see, the aircraft's going to power itself down. And then in VNAV path, you see the vertical deviation pop up on the right hand side of the navigational display, where the aircraft will follow its vertical bearing down on the flight path angle for the descent phase of the flight. As we slow down, we've got 0.79 in, I think, for the descent. There's the top of the descent, just reaching over now. Vertical deviation will pop up, and then down we come. And you see got signs going to go back on. There's the 7th base. This can go open. Okay, going around 2,600 feet per minute. Check the vertical bearing coming down the descent. 5,000 you see, so I don't know why, maybe the update, the aircraft's calculating the descent phase wrong. I don't really know, to be honest with you. They've only got around 13 and 30, so that's only around 50, that's only around half of what we need to come in, probably around about 30 nautical miles short. So I don't know why that aircraft's calculating that wrong. It was well in the range to be able to do that. We can drop down on the descent, 0.9, in 0.76, that'll slow us down a little bit. There we go. As we reach 31,000 feet, engine start switch is going to go to continuous. And I'll show you how to lock on to the VOR through the localizer. So on our way down, passing flight level 300 now, 3,000 feet per minute, 10 minutes, 30,000, take away the 2, so in around 9 minutes it will take for us to get down, coming in at 416, 2,500 feet. So we get ready to rumble. Here we go, direct to 334. Just checked. Flight level 28. Didn't feed up path, just get ready to make that right hand turn. I'll show you how to use the VOR logs tracking for the VOR station. So VOR coming in. As we got everything 11045, which are both in and set, and we've got the 046 courses which are tracked both left and right. 1008 coming in for the Q&H when we come down, that'll be passing around 7,000 feet. Yeah, definitely BK, definitely. We've got the engine start switches to continuous. Anti-ice is on for the time being. get them to set the anti-ice like you say, yeah, it's meant to be on under 10 degrees. And then obviously usually stick the igniters on when we start to come down. But yeah, with the thunderstorm, yeah, the igniters, you don't want that causing a blowout. That'll be us done, mate. So definitely quite right there, BK. Spot on. 100%. If we had failures on, you never know, that might actually happen. Okay, passing 23,000. And speed brake just knock us down a little bit more. On speed 329, 253 for 10,000 feet, and then all the way down to 240, 232 for Japan. We'll already be set up for the approach then. Here we go down into the darkness, so wish us luck, and I will see you on the ground. 220. There we go, spin around 40 nautical miles, 35 nautical miles from Diddle to the FlightFactor Romeo India 004. So it should be a nice arrival, much better than Tyvat. It'll be much more stabilised, 100% more stabilised. Whether we see the runway at the end or not, well, who knows, but if we have to fly blind, then we will tonight, as time is getting on. Hey Chris, good evening my man, hope you're doing well, pal. Hope you're having a great evening. Which will be at Japan. So Japan was trying to say 4004, which isn't where it's meant to be. It'll be 2002 all the way. So 2002 all the way from 11 DME out. Okay, 11 D, there's Japan, and 11 DME to 2002. Okay. So from Japan, put 3000. That'll reset itself. Oh, I could imagine, mate. I could imagine the old X-Plane days. Ah, that's a shame, my man. That's a shame. We just done Tyvat on the arrival. It was quite blinding. If you go back and check it out, you'll see exactly what happened. It was very blinding. Luckily, we just came into view. Just literally came into view. Literally. That's what I'll say. But yeah, there's been some winds battling all across Europe, down in Italy. They're up, down, got them in Copenhagen as well. I see them winds on the maps when I was looking to see them. They're running all the way up near Berlin, and then coming all the way down to Montenegro. So, on for the approach. We're coming down 16,000 feet. I'm going to get the aircraft well done in advance now, so landing lights can go on. Get the runway turn off, taxis, engine starts, which is continuous now. +7, when we get to 10, we'll get the anti-ice off, and then we can load in. So, once we get the VOR as well, which is the 11045, we should be already unlocked in. If not, we can run L now, but the VOR should come in, which is probably a little far out at the moment, I should imagine. So 11045 for the Papa Tango Charlie, which is there, the 046, which we're going to drop down once we come down into that. It's 14,000 feet. The aircraft will start slowing itself down to 240. There we go. Anti-ice can now go off. That will free up an extra 3 degrees on the N1. Yeah, it's always the case, mate, you know. You can hit them really blustery winds and then all of a sudden bang, you know, can knock you off. This knocked us off tonight in Tyvat. I'm not going to lie, it did knock us off. It wasn't a very enjoyable one. But we just managed to get there in the end. Just about managed to get there in the end. Shadow restrictions 5 to 4 to 3 for Japan. As we've got Japan, might as well get that down to 2002. And that's us set up for the approach, depending on how many miles out we are before we set in. So before we set in, Japan is currently 18 DME out, so no, we'll be alright. Keep it there for 3. Get the speed brakes in now as the aircraft's going to slow down to 250. Yeah, but I don't blame you. The yoke will be more stable for you, pal. With the side stick, etc. It's quite. It's not as accurate, I'd say. Plus, for some reason, since the update of this 737, the aircraft's very, very sensitive. Passing through 11,008 now. Passing transition of 7,000, but then slick into 1008. I'll just double check on the METAR, see what we've got down, see if anything's changed when we've come in. So let's just have a look, double check. 1008, 5,000 meters, still 1,000 kilometers. Is the overcast. Okay, so we'll start to bring the control column over now, as we can get ready for the approach. So wish us luck. VLR still hasn't come in yet, so we'll just wait to see what happens. Yeah, something's wrong with the mic, mate. I'm not sure what's happened. Something's gone wrong with the mic tonight, somewhere mid-flight. Yeah, I do apologise. Let's turn this down a little bit. There you go. You might be able to hear me a little bit better now. Turn down the in-game volume, so you might be able to hear me a little bit about, but something's happened to the mic for some reason. So 346, which we'll track in. That's perfect. Don't know if the VOR is going to come in. If it doesn't, then we'll just track it down with vertical speed. But we do need a visual, we do need a reference to come in, so I do need them VORs to come in at some point. I'm not sure if they will though. They don't look like they are. VORs are switched in, 110 and 1045. Nothing's coming in on the VOR either, so not too sure. Maybe we might not even get it in. There's 11045, but nothing's come up. QNH is back to 1008. There we go, there's the Papa Tango Charlie, just in time for us this evening. Okay, so here's our DME to altitude reference that we need as well. Yeah, which we're going to bring in 3,000 feet, try bring this in a little bit narrower. There we go. Whoops, there we go. 240, which the aircraft's going to hold. My bad. Got the speed brakes. Okay, so 7 DME from the Papa Tango Charlie, that's where we start the 3 degree descent. Let's just get our landing, so 43-44, which is 0.1, 57.4, which is going to be 57.3, okay, which is checked. 2 flaps 40, 131, plus 5, which gives us a 135 on the approach. Okay, so this is us now ready to come in. I'm just going to hold 240 now. Now the VOR has come in, we can lock in and get ready to go. So I'll show you how you lock into the VOR. Once we get a little bit closer to Japan, I'll show you then how we, or how you would do the VOR approach. You can do a VOR approach with the VOR lock, and I'll show you how that's done. You just need to make sure the aircraft's in head and select mode. So we're on the 046 now. If I switched it over and then hit the localizer, it would lock in for the VOR. So we're just passing 6,007. This aircraft needs to start descending now. So we are still at 32 nautical miles. We're going to come down in vertical speed. Okay, come down to our speed up. Still going to be around 18 nautical miles. So we'll go down to 220. Speed brake if we can arm it, if not it'll arm itself. There we go, speed brake's armed, nice and lovely. Soon we get the flight recorder replay system on as well. So there'll be a slight freeze just for around 5 seconds or so, and then the aircraft will bounce back. So let's pray it's all good. So we'll get a 5-second freeze and the aircraft should come back. Hopefully it don't freeze. No, there we go. So she is recording. So open up them speed brakes. 5005. Need to come down just a little bit more. There we go. Seven DME is where we are going to start the approach. Needs to be down for 2,200 feet by 11 nautical miles from the Papa Tango Charlie. The overlay's Fly Live Studio, pal. Go on to Fly Live Studio, download the app, and then you can add it on into your OBS or your Streamlabs, whichever one that you use. So, basically, this is how you would track in for the localizer, let's just say for instance. So, we've got in Japan, we've got the 046. Now, if I switch into head and select mode, the aircraft will straighten itself out. Now, in head and select mode, if I then click on VOR lock, the aircraft should lock in for the VOR lock for the 046. So there we go now. The aircraft's tracking the localizer for the runway for the Papa Tango Charlie, which is now, as you can see, the VOR lock's in. Coming down for 3008. We're not going to start the arrival until we get to 7 DME for 2,200 feet. So we can ease up on the speed. I don't need to come down just yet. So we can go up to 1,000. Flaps up. Right, clean speed. So as you can see, you can track in the VOR lock, the VOR, you can track the VOR inbound. You just need to make sure that you're in head and select mode when you do that. Otherwise it's not going to happen. So I'm going to keep it here. The aircraft will level off, and then we'll wait for the approach. So as we're coming in for a VREV of 131 plus 5, which would be a 136, we're going to be looking roughly around 700 feet per minute, I'd say. We've got our DME to altitude reference, so it should be at 1885 at 6 DME. We'll find out soon enough, and then hopefully we can get ourselves inbound, ready to come in. Okay, speed brakes are open as well, as you can see. Still another 9 nautical miles to go, 2,500 to go, so just down to 210. Going to open up flaps 5 as well, just to help. And we've got flaps 10, which is going to come in. Okay, 7 DME is where we are going to start the mark. So speed brake can come in now. Don't know why the speed brake doesn't arm sometimes, but it will come in. Get the aircraft fully established now. Ready to go, 14 DME in, and we are ready and set to leave. Minimums is 700 feet. I'm going to rock that down to 0. I'm going to put that to 5. So we can carry on the approach to 1.5 DME. Okay, I'm going to do flaps 15, gear down. Yeah, X-Plane does have better physics, 100%. I can't agree on that. The physics on this PMDG are quite sensitive. No, actually really sensitive. Okay, so we go down to our flaps 15. 5 nautical miles to go now before we come down. Okay, and flaps 30. I've got 136. Okay, there's our flaps 40. So the auto brake is going to be armed. Got the Also brake for max, ground spoilers, speed brake, which will be armed once we touch down. 7 DME, we're going to start the descent, which we will get in. There's 136, which is in as well, if the aircraft can hold it stably, as it is a little bit rocky. So let's just announce ourselves. We'll start off around 800 feet, just to start with. 6 DME should be at 1885. So let's hope the aircraft can hold in around 136. And then hopefully we can get her on the ground just in time for tea. So, landing lights, engine start switch is continuous, which are checked. Auto brake, which is max. Speed brake, which will be armed once we hit the ground. There's our 136. We're looking for around 750. I'm going to do 750 to start with, just around, because 700 feet would be around our 136. Okay, there's 8.5 DME, around 7.4 DME. I'm going to start the descent down for 750, and then we can just slightly adjust it as we come in. I'm going to continue the approach all the way to 1.5 DME. And I don't know if the airport's going to come in view either, so that's going to be interesting to see. 2 DME should be at 625. Okay, there's 7.6. Vertical speed can go in. Okay, let's get down. 6.7. We'll start with 8 to start with. So at 6 DME we should be at 1885. That's at 850 to start with. So past that, 5 DME 1570. There's 5 DME, just a little bit. The aircraft's going all over the place. 4 DME, 1255. We have got some coverage on the ground. 4 DME, 1255. We need to come down just a little more. Okay, 3 DME, 948. Okay, there's a runway which is visual. 3 DME will be 948.
Caution, terrain.
Check.
Caution, terrain.
Okay, so we're just around 60 odd feet up. Carry on the descent.
Caution, terrain.
2 DME, which will be at 625. Okay, so I'm going to pop that off now.
Caution, terrain.
Airport is visual, so autopilot's disconnected.
Caution, terrain.
Minimums continue. Auto throttle is disconnected as well.
Terrain. Caution, terrain.
A bit bumpy. Keep the aircraft stable.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Yeah, terrain, pull up.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
10,
Okay. Ground spoilers are up. And reversers are active. Okay, reversers can be stowed, manual braking, and the aircraft is released. And there we are, guys, down in our lovely airport that we did start with tonight. That's how you do the VOR approach with the VOR lock locked in. Hope you guys did enjoy that, as I know you guys think obviously you can do it with LNAV and VNAV, but on a continuous descent flight angle you can use a VOR lock. You just need to be in hidden select mode. So Flaps and everything can be set. We even had the fire engines on call, which were there waiting for us. You know, as you can see, just in time. Yeah, I did the full flap. I want it to come down as slow as possible, even though, because the winds will calm, you see. So I want it to come down as calm as possible. So then we had more control on the descent rate. I didn't want the descent rate too high, coming in too fast, as we're following it down on the reference charts as well, which wouldn't have been very nice, coming down at like 1,000, 1,300 feet per minute, rocketing down. Things are just going to get out of control pretty fast, you know. So 1.5 minutes, we'll get the APU started up now. We are back at Salerno. The weather's actually a little bit better than it was before. Thanks, BK, my man. Yeah, well, in this sort of weather, mate, I don't think I can really complain with the floats, you know. That's what you get for a flaps 40. I always do a flaps 30, but in this case, a flaps 40 was definitely needed, 100% tonight. So I hope you guys did enjoy the flight. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. We made up for it on the second one than we did for the first one. I'm just going to go straight down to the end and just stop her right at the bottom. And the APU should be on. We can take a look at the landing, as the controls are just so sensitive right now. It's actually ridiculous trying to control it when you've got winds knocking you about as well at the same time. So let's just stop her here. Put the parking brake on. Be checked. I'm not going to knock the engines off or anything. I'm going to stop the replay system, and then I'm just going to quickly show you guys the landing, and then I'm going to bid you farewell for the evening, and I will see you again tomorrow. So now just wait for it now. Just wait for the replay system to load up. Yeah, if I have time, mate, I'll have a look, as it is quite late now, so I will try. So 22:24, here we go. This is the landing for the VR onto the runway. So I hope you guys do like it, and we can have a look and see exactly what happened on the approach.
Plus 100.
Okay, so there we go. Let's get down on the runway so I can get a nice little view for you guys. Let's have a look. Let's take her somewhere. So we'll take her around here so you guys can see a nice approach. Okay. So there we are, guys. So thanks for joining me this evening. I will see you again tomorrow, and thanks for being a part of the flight this evening. So stay safe, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye.